Susan Shie of Turtle Moon Studios in Worcester, Ohio, and I'm going to show you my piece for the Inspired by Libby project. It's called For Love of Libby, and it's about the 3 Libbys in my life. My dog is Libby Spooler. She's named after Libby Brew, a friend of mine from Worcester who had a store called Quailcrest Farm, a wonderful philanthropist. And of course it's about Libby Lehman, who I also named my dog after. So you can see this is Libby's colors, and now you need to know what piece of Libby's I used for my inspiration for my Libby piece. Here's a copy of a piece that Libby did of herself, a little self-portrait with spools popping out of her head to show how much she loves color and thread. And remember, her business is called Thread Play, and so is her book. So I used that self-portrait as the inspiration. I basically copied her spools, and then I made my own composition in my style. The way I work is I make some sketches, and then when I get my idea straight, I don't look at the sketches, and I freehand draw on my cloth with fabric paint. In this case, I'm using an air pan for my fabric paint, and I drew my black lines. And then I heat set that, and then I color my colors in this case, with a hand brush, just a boar bristle brush. Often I use an airbrush, but in this case it's a hand brush. Heat set that, and then I go back and add in my stories. And I find stories in places where I do research and I have to sort of copy or paraphrase the stories. Other times I'm writing stories off the top of my head. I also used some fabric markers in here. If you look in places like up here, you'll see some blue fabric paint, or it's really marker. It's fabric markers. So I tried to mix that in to kind of keep the black line from being monotonous. I put an aloe plant in because I own one aloe plant from Libby Brew's place, and the aloe plant is for healing, and Libby Lehman needs some healing all the time right now, and we want her to get well, so this is a wish for that. And after I finish my painting and my writing, I put my bamboo batting behind the painting, and I lay it on my backing fabric, and here's my backing fabric, which this is a whole cloth tie-dye piece by London Fabrics from Deborah and Michael, and it's something they don't do anymore, and it was a very special piece to me, and I decided to use it for this quilt for Libby because I really like this subject very much. And here is the label on the piece. You can see here's Libby Lehman with her spools. Here's my dog, Libby Spooler. See, a connection, spools and spooler. And down here is Libby Brew with her quail from Quailcrest Farm. And after I get done doing all that, I quilt my piece with just some random quilting that I do freehand also. I just don't like to do anything that's too planned and too perfect. And then I can write around the border of my piece, and I told more Libby stories there. So that's my piece. I hope you enjoy it. I think this is a wonderful project, and I'm very proud to be part of it. Thank you.